doing?
Can I ask you what you're doing, please, sir?
Oh, Inspector, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Can you identify yourself, please,
Inspector,
sir?
come over here,
Inspector
please.
Dice.
Can I ask you what you're doing, sir?
Taking a picture of these.
Right, why are you doing that?
Because I'm going to report them to professional standards and the council.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, look, absolutely disgusting. I've witnessed so many people having to walk onto the road and
Just let you know, I am recording at the moment.
Thanks for telling me, Inspector.
Okay.
I'm going to go
as a matter of courtesy, just let you know. Obviously, I don't know who you are.
Oh, yeah.
You've got a mask on. That could obviously be some reason for you hiding your identity. I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got a camera going as well. That I can see. And you're taking photos of police station, police buildings. So I would ask you to desist on doing that, okay? Really? If you want to take photographs of police vehicles, that's fine. That's up to yourself.
What offence is it, please, if you don't mind me asking?
If you want to look it up, I don't know the full legislation, so I won't want to mislead you, but there is an offence of taking photographs within or of a public building. Like you can't do it of a court or within the court building. It's the same guys.
The situation changes when the inspector arrives. He tells the auditor to stop filming the police building, but he doesn't give any legal reason. That's not proper policing. It looks like he is going beyond his authority. Filming public buildings from a public place is usually legal unless there is a specific crime involved, and here, no crime was mentioned. When the auditor asks what law he is breaking, the inspector can't answer and says to check later. That's a big issue. Police officers can't guess the law when people's rights are involved. If they want to stop someone from filming, they must clearly know and explain the law right away.
Obviously, you want to speak to people about the parking of vehicles, obviously. I'm quite happy for you to do that. What I will say to you is that if you want to forward details to professional standards, you can go direct them. It's up to yourself. Okay?
To be honest, Inspector, and I mean this with the utmost respect, I'm flabbergasted that you seem to think it's an offence, or there is an offence, to film public buildings, but you can't tell me what it is. I'm flabbergasted.
Why?
Well, the man of your experience, you look like you've been at job for a long time. You're an inspector.
You're obviously going to try and get a bite out of me, and you've got to
try to get a bite out of you.
What I'll say to you is there is a lot of legislation out there, okay?
Which I know.
You tell me what that legislation is.
Well, I don't need to tell you. You're an inspector, mate.
I've told you there's legislation that prevents people from taking photographs of public buildings.
Right.
Okay? I cannot quote the actual script here of the legislation, but I can tell you it's in.
Instead of admitting there's no legal reason, the inspector says there might be a rule, but then admits he can't name it. That says a lot about how he handled things. In the UK, there is no general ban on filming police stations or public buildings. Laws like Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000 can only be used if there is real suspicion of terrorism, not just a guess. Filming in public is allowed. If an officer can't explain the law or the reason for using it, then stopping someone from filming can be unlawful.
I know what it is.
Well, you tell me then.
Stop talking about it.
Right, okay. What I say to you now is you are now getting to a level where you are now becoming a little bit obstructive and offensive.
Well,
okay. And I would ask you to leave the area. I've come up to you to ask you why you're taking photographs of a public building and police vehicles, okay? I've explained myself to you. I've told you I am. Can I ask who you are?
He's laughing at you.
Can I ask who you are?
Who are you? Identify yourself.
Can I ask who you are, please, first?
You don't have to indict.
Can I ask who you are, please?
So you've got an inspector here, and you're telling me you do not have to identify yourself?
Right. At the moment, I'm getting concerned more about your behaviour.
WK9N. So, Whiskey Kilo 9 November. He's the dog handler at Huddersfield Police Station.
Can I see your details, please?
Badge number 3092.
Police rules say officers should give their name and badge number when asked. It should be simple and quick. In this case, the officer refused. The auditor had to step closer and read the details from the uniform. That's poor behavior. Refusing to identify yourself makes it look like you don't want to be held accountable. Public trust depends on openness, and this situation failed that basic standard.
PC Huntington. You'll be got a professional standard, sir.
Can I see your details, please?
No, you can't.
Right, okay. What I'm saying to you now is that you are also causing a bit of a problem here now, aren't you? We've asked you to leave, okay?
I'm on a public footpath.
I know you are. And you're obviously one of these people that want to come round and try and wind police officers up.
I'm just doing something other people don't have the balls to do, which is take pictures of police cars parked in just an absurd place. I mean, come on, who the hell is parked there?
Right.
Double yellow lines and double blips. Do you know what that means?
Right. If you want to take that further, regarding professional standards, please do so. What I've asked you to do now is actually move on yourself.
You're going to professional standards as well.
Fine.
And so is this guy here.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
At least you told me you recorded. And it's nice to see you don't have a gang badge on. You've got a gang badge on, so don't even look at me. I don't want to speak to you. Get rid of that, get yourself on eBay and get yourself one of these. $2.99 and wear it with pride. The Union Jack flag. Yeah, take that crap off, get Union Jack.
I am starting to believe that you are now committing a racist incident. If you carry on being offensive,
I'm a British citizen.
I perceive this to be a racist matter now, okay? I would ask you to leave the area. I would ask you to leave the area, okay? Because you just offended me and my colleagues by saying that badges that we wear are offensive. I find that offensive and I believe that to be a racist behaviour. Please leave the area now.
In England,
okay?
I am wearing a Union Jack, so how's that racist?
The auditor criticised the thin blue line symbol and suggested using the Union Jack instead. That's just an opinion, and he has the right to say it. But the inspector quickly called it a racist incident. While UK rules consider how people feel in such cases, there still needs to be a clear link to race or identity. Here, the comment was about a symbol, not a person's race or background. Calling it racism misuses serious laws and can silence free speech. Instead of discussing the point, the inspector used a heavy accusation to shut it down.
You're saying that he's banned. You're saying that things that we wear we shouldn't be wearing. I find that offensive and I find that hating.
I'll tell you what I find
offensive. I want you to leave the area now, please.
20 years ago, police officers were told they wasn't allowed to wear the Union Jack.
I want you to leave the area now, please.
Because it wasn't part of the uniform.
I want you to leave the area.
Why are you wearing gang badges? What makes it part of the uniform?
I want you to leave the area now.
No.
Okay.
I'm on a public highway. I am on a public footpath being obstructed by 2 police vehicles. They're obstructing the path. I've got proof and evidence and somebody else recorded.
Can I take your details, please? Because I believe you may be committing offences now.
Committing an offence? Committing an offence?
Yeah, obstructing the highway.
No, these are obstructing the highway.
Offences in relation to...
Your police van's obstructing the highway.
Yeah, that is allowed to do because I'm dealing with an incident that's protecting me.
There's no incident to deal with. You came to me, and that's what we're doing.
I came to you because I was concerned about your behaviour, okay? And I am still concerned with behaviour. Bye-bye.
Don't wish to speak to you anymore.
Good.
Absolute muppet.
I find that offensive as well. That is your first warning regarding public order. If you call me a muppet again, I will arrest you, okay? Public order. Harassment, alarm, distress, okay?
Are you being serious?
No, I am very serious.
You are going to be very, very famous by the end of today, my friend. Very famous.
If you call me a muppet again, I will arrest you for...
Let me get out of the way, because now I'm obstructing the road. I'm going to prove to you now...
Calling me...
Police officers are trained to handle tough or rude comments calmly. It's part of their job. But the inspector seemed to take the comment personally and threatened arrest under Section 5 of the Public Order Act. This law only applies if words are likely to cause real harassment, alarm, or distress to a normal person. One rude comment usually doesn't meet that level. Officers are expected to stay calm and not overreact.
Inspector, on camera.
You're under arrest for harassment, alarm and distress.
Happy chances aren't going out wrong, mate. You're going to be in a lot of trouble. Did you let go of your hand, please?
No, you're under arrest.
You're going to be in a lot of trouble.
You're under caution. You don't have to say anything, but in my defence, if you don't have to mention one question, something which will let you go.
I'm not struggling.
Come through it.
I'm not struggling. Why are you pushing my arm further up my back?
I told you you're under arrest.
Yeah, I'm under arrest, but I'm not. I'm cooperating. So why the hell are you doing that to me back?
The van keys are in my back pocket if somebody could move it.
You're in a lot of trouble. Don't delete your body cam footage, Inspector, because I'll be making a subject access request. I'll be making a subject access request for your footage.
The auditor didn't repeat the comment or make things worse. Still, the inspector quickly moved to detain him without a clear reason, no warning, and no proper explanation. It looked more like he was trying to silence criticism than enforce the law. Taking someone to a holding room without valid grounds is not proper policing. It's misuse of power. The auditor's warning about consequences seemed fair. At this point, the inspector didn't appear to be following the law.
Am I safe to turn the camera off?
Take your back.
Am I safe to turn the camera off?
You can do whatever you want.
Am I allowed to record in here?
Yeah.
Right, I'll turn it off.
I'm still recording though.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be making a subject access request. So please do not delete your footage. And before you ask, I haven't got anything on me what I shouldn't have. Everything you've just done is on my mains camera. You are in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. They're arresting me for taking pictures.
No.
Right, well, I want you to
Public
speak to
order.
them until I speak to the solicitor.
Okay. Excuse me, no phone calls in here.
Can I let someone know I'm here?
No.
No, not on this, here.
No, we will do it once you get your rights.
that's
Put
fine.
your phone down.
Yeah, I'm not going to use it.
Right, I'll take possession of them now.
Put it away. I need to put this on because it protects it.
Take your stuff off
You're going to
there.
break it. You're going to break this stuff.
Nobody's breaking anything.
Right.
Okay, I've told you.
All I wanted to do was just put them back on.
No,
No.
I've told you. Right, you're in custody, you're under arrest, you've been cautioned.
Right, I'll turn the camera off. Have you ever seen the Muppets, the Christmas special? Are you saying I can't say that word Muppet? Right. Afternoon, gents.
So we haven't got his details yet. I haven't got a pen, but I'll quickly go through the circumstances. Just come over here, Kev.
I'm not going to give my details, mate. I'm not being awkward at all.
No, yeah, right, go on.
Okay.
Listen, this chap is going to tell me why you're here.
Yeah, of course.
This man has been arrested for Section 5 public order, harassment, alarm and distress. Basically, I was leaving the building at 25 past the hour when I saw this gentleman crouching down at the side of two police cars which are parked in front of the building on the pavement. I stopped my vehicle to approach him to try and find out what was going on, as we were concerned that there might have been some sort of terrorist type threat. And speaking to him, I've realised he's some sort of video YouTuber and he's filming the building and the cars. I advised him regarding filming of public building. He said he was filming the obstruction of the vehicles on the path. He's then started becoming abusive to one of my colleagues because of a badge that he was wearing. I've asked him to stop. I advised him that I felt it caused myself harassment, alarm and distress. At that point, he's then started obstructing the middle of the highway, and I told him to leave the area, at which point he started calling me a muppet, which I found harassment, alarm and distress. So I've arrested him at that point for that offence, for the prompt and effective investigation of it, to prevent his disappearance and to establish his identity, which I couldn't at that time. Once we establish his ID, etc., we can turn him round, I'm more than happy with that.
Do you understand the allegation?
Yeah, I'm not going to start being awkward. I understand it. Yeah.
Right.
I don't agree with it.
Crime.
But I understand it.
Obviously, you can't go around doing that, and obviously the consequences of what happened and things like that.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously, you've been here around hours, but we obviously need to process you and figure out exactly who you are and all that kind of thing. I can't let you go without knowing who you are, unfortunately.
We'll have to fingerprint you anyway, so if you're on systems, you'd come up anyway, so you might as well tell us now anyway.
When the auditor is brought back to the front desk, the inspector tries to change the story. But the video shows what really happened. First, the inspector wrongly challenged legal filming. Then he mentioned a law he couldn't explain. Another officer refused to give ID, forcing the auditor to read it himself. Things got worse when criticism of a symbol was called racism, even though it wasn't about identity. Then a small insult led to a threat of arrest under a law that didn't apply. There was no clear warning or legal reason before detention. This wasn't just a tense moment. It showed a senior officer acting based on emotion, not training or law. That's a serious failure in professionalism and accountability. It also shows why cameras and public oversight matter. If this happens on camera, it raises bigger concerns about what happens off camera. That's the report. If you found this helpful, like, comment, and subscribe to support more content like this.